Hey everyone! On this episode of the Gilbert.K Show, we're joined by powerhouse actor Tony Naumovski, known for his roles in The Equalizer, The Blacklist, and Blindspot. From intense action scenes to powerful performances, Tony shares his journey through Hollywood and the lessons he's learned along the way. Let's welcome Tony Naumovski.
Hey, Tony, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank God.
Great, perfect. Okay. So before we start off, what are we gonna see or watch from your reel?
We're going to see a short clip from Madam Secretary. That's a show that I did a few years ago. It's a scene about a Serbian diplomat at the State Department with an American counterpart.
That's great. Okay, let's watch it or listen to it.
You have played me, James.
Alexander, I
You
assure
made
you
all
that
these promises. I convinced my foreign minister, my president, my prime minister to say yes to Kosovo. Serbia will be strong. I told them we will grow.
all of that's still true.
You've put my people before fire in support of our enemies. You asked us to trust them, and they kill us like dogs in the street.
We don't know who created the story about the grave.
Daj telephone. This is what happens when you trust Albanians.
Okay, great. To kick off things off, did little Tony always dream of being an actor and doing stunts? Or was it something you discovered along the way?
I think it's both. I grew up with music, so I did a lot of kind of imitations and sketches and stuff like that in school. I did not realize, did not connect to that to be part of the acting world, the theater, or anything like that. Some people had suggested that, I have this gift that I, could pursue that, but I was into music. In regards to the stunts, also I was doing a lot of things that remind of that without, again, knowing or being aware that they are, closely related, because I grew up with doing a lot of sports.
Great. I'm always curious about the beginnings. What would you consider your first big break as a performer? And how did that first role or stunt gig come about? And do you remember how it felt stepping into a professional set for the first time? Too many questions to unload. So what would you consider your first big break as a performer?
As a performer, the first big break, I think it was a commercial that it was a Bulgarian commercial that we shot in Slovenia while I was still a student at the National Academy for Theatre and Film Arts in Sofia in Bulgaria. And it was about Wrigley Spearmint. And, we enjoyed it so much. It was me and a few other colleagues from my class and from the other classes that were studying acting at the academy, and that went on national TV, and it was a big deal. It was a high quality and a lot of attention, a lot of, yeah.
Great. Looking back at your early days, is there a funny or even embarrassing moment that stands out? Maybe a stunt that didn't go as planned, or a rookie mistake you can laugh about now?
I'm sure there's many. But, well, while I was in high school, this was in Macedonia, I got the offer to be a part of a show that was kind of with a tragic end. So a kid passes out and dies, unfortunately, from overdose. And they needed, after a 2-hour show, they needed a cop to show up at the end of the show and kind of review what has taken place and be on the site. And that's about it. That's pretty much the end of the show. So they asked me to be part of it, and just only for those 2 minutes, literally 3 or 4 lines, something like that. And I came up with this idea that would be wonderful if I put on a dialect from one of the Macedonian villages, in particular the village where my grandparents come from, and speak in that manner and not speak in the proper standard Macedonian.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere and the climax of the entire show comes to the point where the outcome of this kid passing away, it's like abuse of drugs and everything, and then I show up with this wonderful idea,
Yeah,
and then the audience went hysteric when they saw me and heard me the way I spoke, just like almost like a caricature, so to speak. um, and that was a vivid memory, and that's actually the shifting point to uh, why I decided to pursue acting. Until that moment, I grew up with music. I was playing drums, and the dream was to pursue a career in music.
excellent. That's great. You wear two hats in this industry, actor and stunt performer, which is a cool combo. How did come? How did that come about? And do you find your stunt skills and acting skills kind of complement each other on set?
I want to clarify something. Yes, they do. The short answer, obviously, they inform each other, and it helps a lot. I've been training martial arts for many years, and that comes in handy. Mixed martial arts at New York Sanda with Shifu David Ross, an incredible master, although he does not want to be called so. Everything I have ever done, I have done my own stunts, and that's when stunt performing comes in handy. Literally, like, I have insisted on doing my own stunts. In regards to being hired separately as a stunt performer, I have not done that.
Okay.
Just to clarify that, I have done fight choreography on stage and set up fights on set in shows or on sets where I've been part of the same production as an actor. So it's helpful. Obviously, it's not much different. It's the physical life and manifestation of the characters. It puts you in the moment more so than anything because it is dangerous. And it keeps me vibrant and alive, wanting or not,
Yeah.
because of that.
So do you do like dangerous stunts or like easy ones? I don't know, do you jump from cars? Do you from buildings, or what kind of stunts do you do?
I wish I could. I have not tried that. I don't think that any network production would let me do a stunt on my own to that extreme because of the danger and the liability. Pretty much all of the fights, anything that has to do with that, which I've been part of.
So mostly fights, basically.
It's mostly fights. Yes, it's mostly.
Yeah.
I have done some extreme stuff in skiing and cycling and body surfing and stuff. I have not used it, or I have not been in a situation to use that particular skill as a stunt.
Yeah.
I'm capable of doing it. I don't know if in the future something comes up and I'm part of it, then the producers and the network is okay with it, or the stunt coordinator, then I can give it a shot. It's always exciting.
Yeah, great. So you've racked up some credits, awesome credits on big TV shows and films. I mean, The Blacklist, Marvel's Daredevil, The Equalizer, the list goes on. So what would you say has been the biggest highlight or pinch me moment of your career so far?
I would like to say all of them for different reasons, because every time I appear, I learn something new. It's a humbling experience because you go on set, there's anywhere between 200 to 300 people on set. I remember when we were filming from Daredevil and we were filming with Rosario Dawson, there was this particular scene that we shot for 2 consecutive days, 12-hour days, and that's only 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes in the cut. It took a lot of dancing, so to speak, amongst us, the actors, and amongst the crew, and the DP, and coordination with the safety personnel, and firing a lot of weapons. So yes, there was an independent, talking about independent show. It's called Big Dogs. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it, where it's 8 episodes, 1-hour episodes, and I'm a principal in it, and I'm part of all of the episodes, and I had a lot of freedom on that, with all 4 of the directors that were part of each of them directing 2 episodes, including doing again my own stunts, and including suggesting stuff, and really meaningful experience, collaboration, open collaboration, that a lot of times on something on a larger scale, as a production, it might be a question mark because of the time. And I really truly immersed myself into that, and really enjoyed myself. Not that I don't immerse myself fully on everything else I do. It is sometimes that you only have 1 take or 2 takes, which I like to believe that I don't need more than 1 to 2 takes. If there is like a 3rd take, then I'm questioning, like, unless they tell me it was something technical.
So what's the most challenging role or scene you've had to tackle as an actor, and what made it so tough? And how did you prepare to get into that character or moments?
We're digging deep now, yes?
Yes.
Well, I think Lena and Vladimir,
Yeah.
feature film, I play a character with a very disturbing past, haunting, severely damaged, both physically and metaphorically, and having a wonderful mask that took 4 hours to put on, every single day, plus 12 hours of filming. And I would say that was, or at least one of the biggest and most challenging roles. Now, there's many aspects about how I went about getting into the character. It would take us, I guess, a couple of hours, maybe even more so. Aspects of it, I think, being limited to opening my mouth in this particular case, and one of my eyes being almost completely shut, or having only one eye healthy, and having a choice of speech that's on the lower register, on the as a contrast to to Lena, the character. I knew that we had to find a way to communicate every change of thought and emotional change, in terms of a level of communication and closeness with the others, especially with the character of Lena, in that one eye. So basically, the entire individual journey experience, the physical aspect, or the physical shape of the character, and the emotional, had to come into few selected moments that would reflect in that one eye the changes and levels of depth to where we were at with our relationship. And that is only one aspect in regards to that. In regards to physical life, more so to speak, of this character. That's one element, and I think we'll leave the other elements to maybe be discussed and talked about at some other time.
Yeah. Okay. I know you've also done your fair share of live theater along with all the films and TV work. How does performing on stage in front of a live audience compare to being on a film set? Do you have a preference, or does each experience give you something different?
I think is the second thing what you just said. I think I've been very fortunate to have done a lot of theater and to be part of the film and TV world, and to know the difference, to have experienced the difference. Obviously, each one of the three major mediums informs me differently. The essence is the same. Getting into a character, embodying a character, finding the level of depth and truth, and finding multi-layered aspects of it, making it vibrant, alive, and as powerful as possible within the frame of what the screenwriter and the director and the vision of honoring the vision of these wonderful collaborators that you have.
Mhm.
Some people say that being on stage is like being a gladiator while you're having these live animals sent to you to battle with. I guess there is truth to it, but then there is a different level with different animals, so to speak, when you're in front of the camera and maybe you do this one close-up now, and for whatever reason you do the same close-up 7 hours later, and how you stay or how you maintain the quality of energy, the quality of thought throughout those, let's say, 7 hours. So it sometimes even happens that you pick up
Yeah.
a few days later, a few months later. I don't think it's that much different. The conditioning is different. Some of the ways and tools of communication, obviously the voice projection, articulation, and all of these things, like depending on the size of the theater, the size of the show, the style of the show. Those are obvious ones. It's like you play a little bit with the levels of everything within how you find that coming across and communicating what you need to communicate.
Yeah. And on camera, probably you might need to tone it down a little bit because it will be too overly acted. Right, and comparing to the theater, like on stage, you make like big gestures, big movements, but on camera, like if you do the same, probably it will be overacting.
Well, it's I've heard that before.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I had this conversation with several of our colleagues. A lot of times you would hear this when someone's saying that this is too big. What is too big? I think
Yeah.
most of the time being too big or not enough or big or too small or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a matter of being too big. I think it's a matter of being either truthful or not, meaning like bottom line, do you believe it or not? And some people react differently, and we would never know how some people react to certain things. And as long as that is deep and meaningful and full and profound and truthful, that's fine. And if it comes across as big, I don't think I don't even think that if it would come across as big, because when it is all of these things, what I just said, I think we are saying that something is big, obviously, when we go for some kind of idea that we had that we need to have as an outcome, and therefore we only give a wonderful shape to it and a result to it, but we had, failed to be full with all the spectrum of life and the journey of what the screenwriter has given us and the vision of the director and what we have worked on to earn that moment and to that level.
Oh, good answer, Tony.
I
Oh,
yes.
it's time for a quick game. of this or that. To get to know you better, I'll give you two options and you pick whichever you prefer. No overthinking.
both?
Sorry?
Can I choose both?
Sure, if you want. Some people did actually on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. You can choose both if you want. So just go with your gut. Ready, Tony?
I'm always ready.
Okay, here we go. Hero or villain?
Hero.
Big emotional scene or big fight scene?
Big emotional scene.
Blockbuster film or indie project?
Indie project.
Day shoots or night shoots?
Night shoots.
Improvisation or sticking to the script?
Improvisation.
Great. So has there been a mentor or fellow performer who really took you under their wing or gave you great advice early on? Who were they and what impact did they have on you?
So because I have been, that's a great question. Thank you very much for that. I've been very fortunate to have come across some brilliant, outstanding minds in the film, theater, and TV world. I'll start backwards, meaning to what I have nowadays, because there are too many people to thank and to think of and to draw from and to learn that I'm still doing it. Obviously, I still go back to moments and advices and that I have gotten from these wonderful people all over the years, and that includes people in many different countries and different levels of life. Help me, that have shaped me be what makes me me today, now in this very moment. But two people I look up and that we are just very little apart, like several months apart. One is Ulrich Brown, incredible, brilliant mind and a wonderful human being and a filmmaker from New York, and he is a professor at Tisch Tisch School of the Arts at the film school. And the other one is Michael Aronoff, as for me, well, one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, that has stepped on stage or in front of a camera. What that means, it's really difficult to put it into words. It's not just one thing. It has been a friendship, brotherhood, and collaboration for a couple of decades with both of them. Sometimes it's something specific. Sometimes it's a conversation that we have that goes on for 9 hours, like on a couple of occasions with me and Michael, going into depth and detail about certain aspects of what we do and why we do it. What is the need behind what we do? What is the purpose, and how do we elevate ourselves or enlighten ourselves and enlighten whoever we have across us, and and more so living in the questions than trying to be smart and find answers or demonstrate answers. And the same is with Ulrich. It's like we have done several projects together. At the moment, we are writing a script, a feature film script together. More so him than me, obviously. It's a learning process for me, and just there, he has said so many brilliant things that I have taken down notes over the years, and he has never been inaccurate. Let's say that word.
Yeah.
About everything he has spoken about. That includes things about filmmaking and theater making. Actually, he knows theater super well. He has a keen eye and observes, pays attention to detail and observes very carefully of what I do and what other of our colleagues do and how we, discuss that and what do we learn, what do we take out from that. And a lot of study recommendations over the years, like films, and books, scripts about acting, about directing, filmmaking, psychology, philosophy, lighting, editing, like literally all the aspects of filmmaking. And it's, again, similar, going back to Michael, it's similar um, about uh, about the theater more so world with Michael about books, references, shows, performances. Um, yeah, I think
Right.
I'm choosing, as I said,
You have so many, so
two.
many of them. Yeah.
I'm just mentioning two of them. It's ungrateful. Um,
So do you recommend to have as a startup actor? So when's the best time to look for? So first, do you recommend to have a mentor, and when is the best time or the right time to find a mentor?
it's always good to have someone to look up to. I think a lot of times, whether we acknowledge it as a title that we have a mentor or not, we always do have a mentor.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes we become aware a little bit later that we have had a mentor that we were not aware of the way we, defining it now. It's always good to have it. And uh, because I don't know how objective we could be, especially in the beginning years when we're building our craft and tools and building the awareness who we are and what we are, how we define ourselves, and the individuality and embracing the uniqueness and nurturing it, and what we put focus on, where we need to guide, where we need to be guided or guide ourselves towards other aspects that are not so strong, maybe. Um, so it's different, I think, obviously, for every single person.
Mhm.
They feel I'm always grateful to learn more. I'm always grateful to hear things that I even think that I might know. And even if I really do, I love to hear them again the same way, or I'd like to hear them again in a different way, or I realize that I actually did not know. So it's like, mm, and they're gonna change and shift, generational. Like for me, I've studied at a few different places, a few different countries. I've been very fortunate enough to have studied with some uh, just most brilliant people. Like one of the schools where I went to study my BFA in acting, it's the National Academy for Theater and Film Arts, NATFIS,
Yeah.
in Bulgaria. It's one of the most brilliant schools of arts
Mhm.
in the world. And I have traveled quite a bit, and I have visited a good amount of grade schools across the world. And from this perspective, when I reflect on it, you know, I realize how fortunate I have been to be part of that tradition and to have studied with one of the greatest actors of the European stage, film, and TV world, Stefan Danilov, which we called him our master. Um,
Yeah.
and not only him, obviously the other team of professors. And then I went on to study in Australia. That was a very different world, uh, incredible and profound in many different ways in terms of aesthetics and influence. A lot of British influence of thinking and philosophy and approach and aesthetics, and then some French. So I studied in Sydney. That's where I was born, actually. That's my
Yeah.
That's my city of birth and the most beautiful city in the world. Okay, don't tell anyone that I said this.
No.
And then I got a scholarship from through NYU to come and study at the one and only Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute.
Yeah.
The late, wonderful Anna Strasberg herself for a full year, and just when you thought you knew certain things and that you were kind of settled for certain aspects of going about, then there comes a wave of inspiration and thought-provoking and groundbreaking and shifting points of viewing things and approaching yourself and experiencing yourself as an actor, as an artist, as an instrument.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. It's great. Wow. Good. Um, the entertainment industry definitely has its ups and downs.
no,
Whether it's dealing with whether it's dealing with rejections,
yeah.
long stretches between gigs, or recovering from a stunt injury, how do you cope during the tough times, and what keeps you motivated to keep pushing forward when things get challenging?
Oh, I am Macedonian. I don't give up. I like to. I'm carrying the entire individual and collective memory of who I am and what defines me, of who I am, what I am, and why I am. So it's like, um, for me, everything is a matter of life and death. Um, I don't like hearing that I cannot do something or that's impossible. That doesn't exist in my understanding, in my world.
Yeah.
And as
Is
Michael,
it because of martial arts that trains you this way, that you're always like, I don't know, does it have to do with martial arts or?
I think that martial arts have to do a little bit with that. Yeah, that hasn't the martial arts have enhanced that aspect of it. But I think
Yeah.
that I've always taken the most complex and most challenging, roads and choices. Um, and any moment that, let's say, that things tough or unpredictable or anything, any of those wonderful aspects that come with being an actor and being in the independent film scene or a theater or TV. I just never back down. I keep going. I keep finding reasons to inspire myself. Read a lot. Train. That's sort of a meditation that keeps me in focus and in shape, both mentally and physically. You have to have a lot of stamina to endure that. And I always try to see positive outcome in everything that's taking place. Um, but coming from, I think I go back to the background again, like coming from that kind of place where you fight for, or you have fought like generations back for everything, including breathing the air,
Mhm.
so to speak. I think it has to do, whether I'm aware fully or not, it has to do a lot with who I am and what I am, and then going and traveling around the world and changing countries and meeting incredible people, and you know uh,
Yeah.
that that teaches you a lot, how to live and we need, I think, a lot more to learn how to live than how to act. It's yes, it's a wonderful question, and I have thought about it. It's not that it's the first time that I'm thinking now. I'm just trying to give you the most honest answer for
Yeah.
this moment right now. Um, but yeah, I think that gives you slice of life for that.
Yeah.
It's uh, just an
So
aspect.
I'm trying to think about our audience to see if there's any tips or anything you can recommend in case they want to follow your path, and or actors they're listening. Is there anything you any tips or recommendations you advise? I know like this is how you were the way you were brought up or something, and I guess you do meditations and is there any? I think probably you already covered it because you said meditations, martial arts, and the way you've been raised, and yeah,
Um, I'm thinking. The mental gymnastics is a big part that we underestimate, I think. So the mental gymnastics means, for me, means that getting up in the morning in the first couple of hours, majority of the time, of course, sometimes it's not like that, but reading,
yeah,
having a book, physical book, in my hand is something very profound for me. It's kind of connection and touch with the planet, with the nature, with Earth. Especially when you live in New York, as I do, or at least I'm based in New York. I travel a lot, and I am where I need to be. Um, and there is a deeper understanding and connection while reading a book, because that book has been researched in a more profound and meaningful way than something that comes on any of the social media platforms that it could be out of nowhere. It could be wonderful, but it could be out of nowhere. At least there is like some kind of reference to that particular study. And when I say study, I tried to study the books that I read about our craft, all the aspects of the craft, and not just read them, because information is not knowledge, and knowledge is not experience. So the more I study them, the more it becomes the more I create a chance to become knowledge, and eventually turn it into experience whenever I get a moment to try it out.
yeah,
Exercising and keeping a healthy lifestyle, obviously, that goes without saying, helps with the clarity of thought, with the clarity of purpose, where we are at in life. Meditation, and keeping a positive mind regardless what happens. I know it's super difficult sometimes, but keeping seeing the light in everything you do, I think it's very important, and it takes a conscious effort, I think, to do that, to focus on that, to visualize that, um, to believe.
great. Um, what's something about the life of an actor that would surprise people? Maybe a behind the scene reality or not so glamorous part of the job that folks don't usually get to see.
I think first, for me, acting is a lifestyle that I'm very fortunate to be part of. I think there is maybe an illusion that we a lot of times are viewed as very egotistical, and I think the truth is the opposite. For us to do what we do, at least when we are doing it well, we're very selfless. We at our best bring ourselves to a level of confession, which becomes something that it's more most intimate and very complex thing to do. So we're stripping our soul and pouring our soul into someone that we just met, or someone, if it's part of the live audience, that someone who has just come to see the show and maybe learn something or be entertained, which is an aspect of that. Although my belief is that at our best we should be enlightening, and if there is an element of entertainment as part of that enlightenment, it's wonderful. If not, we should not be focusing on pure outcome of entertainment, because we can never be better than the circus. So I think probably that, to realize of how selfless we are when we work on a character, and when we're doing well in that character in a particular show, and when we come and pour our heart and soul, and then we sense a loss in a way that a lot of times, at least I'm speaking for myself, obviously, it takes many hours, sometimes many months after doing a show or a film shoot or a TV shoot, depending again on the level of engagement and everything, of bringing yourself back to some kind of more recognizable energy level, or functioning within the modern society. I'm struggling with words here because I want to be super precise and honest of what that means. So I don't think that is viewed that way. I don't think that the level of effort, the level of work and dedication that it takes, again, I'll say, when we are at our best, when we are lucky to have been provided a platform to be our best, it's a huge sacrifice on so many levels, and something that no one talks about, mental health, and we only kind of absorb and observe the physical aspects of things, and sometimes here and there some emotional aspects of it, but we're like icebergs. It's only 10% that we see on the surface, but the real depth, it's under those 90% that we do not see, the world that we encounter and that we have built or that we carry within us. Of those 90%, 90%, and this is like a collection of all the individual and all of the collective memory that we carry, that have all of those, I would like to say sometimes, like the thousands, if not the millions of moments that have shaped us and made us who we are and what we are in this very moment. And that's what makes us unique. I'm not sure if that answered what
It did actually.
I think at least it touched. Look, all of these wonderful questions that you have, which I'm very grateful for, and I don't take it for granted, because I take responsibility of what I say from my perspective, my personal experience, but also representing my fellow actors across the world. So, but all of these wonderful questions, of course, they need focus and dedication for longer periods of time to be answered more thoroughly, because there's so many aspects about all of these questions, not to be, so to speak, unfair or sidetrack all of the other aspects within a powerful question. So if we
it's
had
great.
12 or 15 hours or maybe a couple of days.
We don't have that much time, Tony.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's move on. Is there a dream role or project still on your bucket list? Maybe a type of character you haven't played yet, or a crazy stunt you'd like to try one day?
Probably crazy stunt. I'm into extreme sports, so some high, bungee jump from, I don't know, some place like the Grand Canyon or some place like that, or the Sydney Harbor Bridge, or
Wow.
any of the wonderful other natural wildernesses across the beautiful planet Earth that we live on. Yes, skydiving or something like that.
Okay.
In terms of particular part, I just dream and wish for to work with people that would love to work with me. That's not like that always, and it's like one of those sayings like I like to go to where I'm welcome, not the other way around, because that's when we at least have the begin to create the platform to be doing something magical. If it's not, if it's just an execution of something, that's a different level. But when you become an actor creator and you co-create and collaborate with other incredible people, whether they're actors or part of the wonderful crew that enhance you and uplift you and help you and inform you, and just every single day you grow and you flourish and all of that. It's like that is the environment what I would love and I dream about working in. And when that happens, it's magic.
It is, yeah. Okay, great. Let's move on to our final segment. When it's all when all is said and done, what do you hope people will remember most about you or your work? What kind of legacy or impact do you hope to leave in the entertainment world?
One thing is for sure, that I was a good human. I don't take that for granted. That's something that takes work every single day, and it's not easy. And from that on, I have the possibility to might have left an impact or influenced some people in hopefully the most beautiful and most profound way. And sometimes, if I was lucky enough to remember me as an enlightening person.
Okay, great. If you can go back in time and talk to young Tony,
You're
just
not doing this. Okay, let's do it.
just as he was starting his career,
Yes.
what's one piece of advice or reassurance you would give him?
Heads up, hands up. Don't give up.
Okay, great. And finally, what advice or words of encouragement would you give to aspiring actors or stunt performers listening, or any wisdom from your journey that you'd like to share with someone who dreams of making it in this business?
Do not underestimate yourself. You're enough and more than enough. And listen to your body, who knows more than your mind, because your mind is ignorant to what the body knows and can do. Listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. You don't need to be unnecessarily arrogant, but you don't need to be falsely modest either.
Okay, great. Okay, we're coming to an end, Tony. That's all, folks. Tony Naumovski, everyone. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Gilbert. I'm very grateful, and thank you all for being
Thank you.